The retirement cake sat untouched on the corner table at the fire station. 3 empty chairs at the head table told the whole story. I stood there in my dress uniform for the last time, looking at those vacant seats while my former colleagues shuffled past with awkward congratulations. 37 years with the Vancouver Fire Department, and my 3 sons couldn't spare 2 hours on a Tuesday afternoon. "Chief Thompson, we're so proud of everything you've accomplished," Captain Martinez said, shaking my hand firmly. "The department won't be the same without you." I smiled and nodded, but my eyes kept drifting back to those 3 empty chairs. Name cards sat in front of each one: Marcus Thompson, Derek Thompson, Kyle Thompson. My phone had buzzed 3 times that morning. Marcus first, at 6:47 a.m. "Dad, I'm so sorry. Major surgery scheduled for today. Patient's been waiting months. I can't reschedule. I'll make it up to you." Derek at 7:15 a.m. "Pop, the closing is today. $8 million deal. If I don't show, we lose everything. I feel terrible. Dinner this weekend?" Kyle at 8:02 a.m. "Dad, I know this is important, but the case goes to trial tomorrow. I'm buried in prep. Can't get away. Love you." 3 sons, 3 excuses, 3 empty chairs. The thing is, I understood. I really did, because I'd taught them this. Every missed baseball game when I was fighting a 3-alarm fire. Every school play I'd skipped because of a training exercise. Every birthday dinner cut short by an emergency call. I'd taught my boys that work comes first, that duty matters most, that personal things can wait, and they'd learned the lesson perfectly. The ceremony wrapped up around 3 p.m. I drove home to the house in North Vancouver that had felt too big since Margaret passed 2 years ago. I sat in my recliner, still wearing my dress uniform, staring at the retirement plaque they'd given me. 37 years of service, saved 167 lives, led the department through its most challenging decade, mentored 2 generations of firefighters, and I was going home to an empty house. My phone rang around 6 p.m. "Marcus, Dad, how did it go? I'm so sorry I missed it." "It was fine, son. How's your patient?" "Good, good. Surgery went well. Listen, I'll come by this weekend, okay?" "Sure, whenever you have time." We talked for maybe 4 minutes before he got paged. "Emergency at the hospital." Derek called at Seca's. 02 p.m. "Pop, did they give you a good send-off?" "They did. Got a nice plaque." "That's great. Hey, about that dinner. This weekend might be tough. We're dealing with some complications on the deal. Maybe next week?" "Of course. Work comes first. Thanks for understanding, Dad. You always do." Kyle texted around 10 p.m. "Hope today was special. Drowning in case files. We'll call soon. Promise." I sat there in the dark living room, Margaret's photo on the mantel, and I made a decision. The doctor's appointment had been scheduled for weeks. Just a routine checkup, or so I'd thought. But Dr. Patel had found something in my blood work. Wanted me to come in for more tests. I went through the scans, the biopsies, the consultations. The whole process took about 60 days. And 60 days after my retirement party, I sent my sons a video. I recorded it in my home office, the one with all my firefighting commendations on the wall behind me. I wore a regular shirt, looked tired but calm. "Marcus, Derek, Kyle," I began. "If you're watching this, it means I've sent you something I need you to hear. Something I couldn't say in a text or a phone call. 60 days ago was my retirement party. 37 years with the fire department, and none of you were there. I want you to understand something. I'm not angry. I don't blame you. Because the truth is, you learned this from me. But I need to tell you something now, and I need you to really hear it. I went to the doctor last week. The tests came back, and it's not good news. I have stage 3 pancreatic cancer." I paused, letting that sink in. "The doctors say we caught it relatively early, but it's aggressive. They're recommending a treatment plan, but even with that, we're looking at months, not years. Maybe 18 months if we're very lucky. I'm telling you this not because I want sympathy. I'm telling you because I wasted too much of my life on the wrong things, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. I saved 167 lives in my career. I'm proud of that. But I missed your childhoods doing it. I missed Marcus's high school graduation because of a warehouse fire. I missed Derek's college acceptance celebration because of a training conference. I missed Kyle's law school mock trial because I was teaching a course in Seattle. I told myself it was noble. I was serving the community, saving lives, making a difference. But here's what I've realized sitting in these doctors' offices the past 2 months, alone. Those 167 people I saved, they had families who got to keep them. But my own family barely knows me. Marcus, you became a surgeon because you watched me run into burning buildings. You learned that saving strangers was the highest calling. But when did you last have dinner with Sarah? When did you last take your kids to the park without checking your pager? Derek, you built an empire in real estate because I taught you that success meant never saying no to an opportunity. But you've had 3 failed relationships, and you told me last Christmas you can't remember the last time you felt relaxed. Kyle, you fight for justice in the courtroom because you saw me fight fires. But you're 42 years old, and you've never taken a vacation longer than 3 days. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you because I'm running out of time to say it, and these are things you need to hear. The fire department is going to be fine without me. The hospital will find another surgeon for your next emergency, Marcus. The real estate market will survive without your next deal, Derek. Someone else can take that case, Kyle. But your families, the people who love you, they won't wait forever. Trust me on this. Your mother understood this before I did. She spent her last 6 months trying to tell me. But I was too busy being Chief Thompson to listen to her as just William, her husband. I don't want that for you. So here's what I'm asking. Not for my retirement party, not for any specific event. I'm asking you to think about what really matters, about who will be sitting next to you when you're getting your own difficult diagnosis one day. Because I'm looking at these test results alone. And that's on me. But it doesn't have to be on you. I love you all. I'm proud of the men you've become. I just hope you're smart enough to learn from my mistakes instead of repeating them. Call me when you're ready to talk. Not about my health, about yours, about your lives, about what you're building and what you're sacrificing to build it. I'll be here, for as long as I can be. I sent the video to all 3 of them at the same time, 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. Marcus called within 20 minutes. I was sitting at my kitchen table when my phone lit up. Dad. His voice cracked. Dad, I'm on my way. I'm leaving the hospital right now. Marcus, you don't have to. No, stop. Don't tell me I don't have to. I'm coming. He hung up. Derek called 3 minutes later, clearly in his car. Pop, I'm driving to you right now. I'm on the Ironworkers Bridge. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Derek, if you have meetings... Screw the meetings, Dad. I'm coming. Kyle texted. In court. Judge just called recess. Asked for a continuance. On my way. Don't go anywhere. I sat at that kitchen table, stunned. They all arrived within 40 minutes of each other. Marcus still in his scrubs. Derek in his suit, looking like he'd run from a boardroom. Kyle in his court attire, slightly disheveled. They walked in and just stood there, looking at me like they'd never really seen me before. Sit down, I said quietly. They sat at the kitchen table, the same table where Margaret used to make them do their homework while I was on shift. Dad, Marcus started, his eyes red. Tell me everything. What are the treatment options? What's the timeline? I can consult with colleagues, get you into the best oncology program. Marcus, I interrupted gently. Take a breath. Derek was already pulling out his phone. I'm clearing my schedule, all of it. The next year, I don't care about any deals. I'll work from here. Be available whenever you need. Derek, I said. Kyle was just staring at me, tears running down his face. This is my fault. The retirement party. If I'd known. Kyle, I said firmly. All of you. Listen to me. They went quiet. The cancer part is real, I said carefully. I did go through all those tests. I did get concerning results. Marcus leaned forward. What stage? What's the prognosis? I took a deep breath. But when they did the full biopsy last week, they found out it wasn't cancer after all. It was a benign growth. Rare, but treatable with minor surgery. I'm not dying. The silence that followed was deafening. Derek spoke first. You're not dying? No. But the video, Kyle said. You said stage 3 pancreatic. I know what I said. Marcus stood up, his chair scraping loudly. You lied to us? You told us you had cancer when you don't? Sit down, Marcus. No. Do you have any idea what I just did? I walked out on a patient in post-op to get here. A patient who has 3 other doctors monitoring them, I said calmly. You left because you wanted to, because you had to, because something finally mattered more than your next surgery. Derek was shaking his head. This is manipulative, Dad. This is what it took, I said, standing up to face them. I spent 60 days thinking about how to get through to you 3. I wrote letters. I planned speeches. But nothing I could say was going to make you understand what I needed you to understand. You needed to feel it. The way I felt standing at that retirement party looking at 3 empty chairs. The way your mother felt every Christmas when you all showed up for an hour between your important obligations. The way she felt dying in that hospital with me by her bedside, alone, because all 3 of you were too busy to make it in time. Kyle flinched. That's not fair, isn't it? Marcus, you were in surgery. Derek, you were closing a deal in Toronto. Kyle, you were in court. Same excuses. Different day. We came as soon as we could, Marcus said defensively. You came 2 hours after she died, I said quietly. 2 hours. And she'd been in that hospital for 3 days. 3 days. And none of you could find the time. The room went silent again. I'm not trying to hurt you, I continued, my voice softer now. I'm trying to wake you up before it's too late, before you end up like me, sitting alone in a house full of memories, wondering where all the years went. Yes, I lied about the cancer, but the rest of it, the part about you learning this from me, about sacrificing the wrong things, about building successful careers while your lives fall apart around you, that's all true. And I needed you to feel what it's like when someone you love is running out of time. Because that's what we're all doing, every single day, running out of time. I'm 64 years old. Let's say I'm lucky and I live to 90. That's 26 years. If we see each other once a month for a few hours, that's about 312 more times I'll get to see each of you. That's it, 300 times, if we're lucky. Your mother and I wasted so many of those times. I worked double shifts so we could afford a bigger house, but I wasn't there to live in it. I took promotions so I could give you better opportunities, but I missed watching you grow up. I don't want that for you. Marcus sat back down slowly. So what do you want? I want you to think about what you're building and why. I want you to ask yourself if it's worth it. I want you to look at your lives and ask if this is really what success looks like. Derek rubbed his face. I don't know how to do anything else. I know, I said. Neither did I. But you're 45, Derek. You have time to learn. You all do. What about you? Kyle asked quietly. If you're not sick, what are you going to do? I smiled. That's the beautiful part. I get to figure it out. For the first time in my life, I don't have to be Chief Thompson. I can just be William, your dad, Margaret's husband, a guy who likes fishing and hasn't been in years, a guy who has grandkids he barely knows. Marcus, I turned to my oldest. You have 2 daughters. I've seen them maybe 10 times in the last year. Tell me their favorite colors. Tell me what they want to be when they grow up. Marcus opened his mouth, then closed it. Derek, you told me you've been dating someone for 8 months. What's her name? What does she do? Derek looked at the floor. Kyle, when did you last read a book that wasn't for a case? When did you last do something just because it made you happy? Kyle didn't answer. See? This is what I'm talking about. You're so busy being successful that you've forgotten how to live. So what do we do? Marcus asked. That's up to you. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that fishing trip I've been putting off for 20 years. I'm going to volunteer at the community center teaching fire safety to kids. I'm going to have Sunday dinners here, every week, and you're all invited. No phones. No work, talk, just family. And if you can't make it every week, that's okay. But I want you to think about why you can't make it. Really think about it. Is it genuinely important, or is it just what you've trained yourself to believe is important? The 3 of them sat there, and I could see them processing everything. There's something else, I added. Something I want each of you to do. What? Derek asked. I want you to talk to the people you love. Really talk to them. Ask them what they need from you. Ask them if they feel prioritized. Ask them if you're present in your own life. Marcus, talk to Sarah. Ask her when she last felt like you chose her over a patient. Derek, talk to this woman you've been dating. Ask her if she sees a future with someone who cancels dinner 3 times a week. Kyle, talk to yourself. Ask yourself if this is the life you actually want, or just the life you think you're supposed to want. Marcus was crying now. not bothering to hide it. I don't know if I can change. Yes, you can, I said firmly. I know you can. Because you just did. You walked out of that hospital for me. That means you know how. You just have to choose to do it for the things that matter. I'm sorry, Dad, Kyle said, his voice breaking. For the retirement party. For Mom. For all of it. I know you are. But sorry doesn't mean anything without change. Show me you're sorry by living differently. We sat there for a long time, the four of us at that kitchen table. Finally, Marcus spoke. Okay, Sunday dinners. I'll be here. Me too, Derek said. And me, Kyle added. Every week, I promise. Good, I said. Now let me tell you about this fishing trip I'm planning. I was thinking we could all go. 4 days up at Whistler. What do you think? I'd have to check my schedule, Marcus started, then stopped himself. Actually, no. I'll make it work. When are we going? Next month. And I don't want I'll make it work. I want yes, absolutely. I'll be there. Yes, absolutely. I'll be there, Marcus said, managing a small smile. Me too, Derek said. Count me in, Kyle added. 3 months later, I stood on the dock at Whistler, watching the sun come up over the lake. My 3 sons were in sleeping bags inside the cabin we'd rented, probably still exhausted from staying up until 2 a.m. talking around the campfire. We'd talked about everything. About their mother, about their relationships, about their fears and their dreams, and the things they'd given up along the way. Marcus had told us he'd cut his hours at the hospital by 20%. He was coaching his daughter's soccer team now. Derek had ended a deal that would have made him millions, but would have required 3 months of nonstop work. He'd proposed to his girlfriend instead. They were getting married in the fall. Kyle had taken on a junior partner at his firm. He was learning to delegate. He'd started painting again, something he hadn't done since college. They were changing, slowly, but really changing. And me, I was learning too. Learning that retirement doesn't mean the end. It means the beginning of whatever comes next. I heard footsteps on the dock behind me. Marcus, holding 2 cups of coffee. Couldn't sleep? He asked, handing me a cup. Didn't want to, I said. Didn't want to miss this. We stood there in comfortable silence, watching the lake. Thanks, Dad, Marcus said after a while. For what? For lying about the cancer. For scaring us. For doing whatever it took to wake us up. I looked at him. I'm sorry I had to. I'm not, he said. We needed it. I needed it. Derek and Kyle joined us on the dock a few minutes later. The 4 of us stood there as the sun climbed higher, painting the lake in shades of gold and pink. This is nice, Kyle said simply. Yeah, Derek agreed. It really is. And it was. It really was. Because here's what I've learned in my 64 years, and what I hope my sons are learning now. Success isn't about how many lives you save or deals you close or cases you win. Success is about being present for the life you have while you have it. It's about knowing that every moment is a choice, work or family, achievement or connection, building your legacy or living your life. And the hardest part is that both choices can feel right in the moment. Both can feel important. Both can feel necessary. But only one of them will matter when you're looking back at the end. I spent 37 years running into burning buildings. I was good at it. I saved lives. I made a difference. But the real fire was at home, in the moments I was missing, in the relationships I was neglecting, in the family that needed me while I was out being a hero to everyone else. My sons almost made the same mistake, almost sacrificed their lives on the altar of their careers, just like I did. But they didn't, because sometimes love means telling a lie that reveals the truth. The truth is simple. We're all running out of time. The question isn't whether we'll run out. The question is what we'll do with the time we have. Will we spend it chasing success? Or will we spend it building something that actually matters? My boys are choosing differently now. And that's the real legacy. Not the commendations on my wall. Not the lives I saved. But the life lessons I finally managed to teach before it was too late. If you're reading this or hearing this, I want you to ask yourself, what are you sacrificing? Who are you sacrificing it for? And is it really worth it? Don't wait for a cancer diagnosis, real or fake, to answer those questions. Don't wait for empty chairs at your retirement party to realize you've been prioritizing the wrong things. Do it now, today. Call the people you love. Tell them they matter. Show them they matter. Choose them over the next meeting, the next deal, the next emergency. Because here's the secret they don't tell you when you're climbing the ladder of success. The ladder doesn't go anywhere worth going if you're climbing it alone. My sons know that now. They learned it the hard way, with a lie that told the truth. But they learned it in time. And that's all that matters. The question is, will you?